Hey, you're back. Welcome to all six of my followers. Don't worry, this issue or episode isn't going to be another 45 minutes. It'll probably be about half that. I did not have the intention when I started doing these videos that I was going to do the entire series on me giving feedback to other people's feedback. I have a lot more topics that we're going to do, but one of the girls in our Thursday night poetry group saw the video and she got a kick out of it. And I thought, what the hell? I've got one more in me. It's a real short poem. So, Molly, this one's for you. Um, I do not typically hold on to people's critiques or feedback or grumble about it for days at a time. I just let it go. This one I keep with me. I have a copy of it only because it was so like ridiculous and funny to me. His critique of this poem. So we're going to get right to it. It's a real short poem, real straightforward. It's called God and I. God and I have an understanding. I do not ask for anything, and He doesn't give me anything. We just smile and wave, contemplating each other's existence. That's it. Real short. Again, to me, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. There's no hidden meanings other than, me walking down the street and looking up, going, does he exist? And him looking down, thinking, do I exist? So this poem was actually part of a full length that I submitted to a journal that got rejected. And I'm going to read his feedback real quick. Dear Ken Tomorrow, I'm not prepared to recommend Greetings and Salivations be published by insert journal name here, despite your wry and witty touches, which were some relief to me. The place I stumbled was the same in each poem. At exactly when I thought you would right away from the premise, you ended the poem. Look at the first poem, God and I. It ends contemplating each other's existence. Isn't that a missed opportunity where you could have elaborated on the contemplation? But what I was really hoping for was a funny, sporting entrance to something very outlandish. We just smile and wave at each other, contemplating why the spotted cow just went into the house next door. The idea is to use your clever and keen opening lines to get our attention. You're great at this, but instead of abandoning us once you have our attention, do something with it, go somewhere with it. Again, I just look at that and I'm kind of like, what the fuck? It was just so funny and stupid to me. This is a really good example of how sometimes editors and magazines just don't get what you're going for, even if it's very simple. We as writers, I think, sometimes feel like editors are infallible, like they have their shit together, and sometimes they just don't get it. So his idea of where I just kind of let things drop, absolutely. I have many poems that the ending isn't just wrapped up nice and neatly, it just drops. You know what? Life, relationships drop, marriages drop, conversations drop, jobs drop, things in life just drop and aren't wrapped up so neatly all the time. So my writing, again, I say a lot, is grounded in reality, and that's the reality of life. The part, his idea of humor is just extremely stupid and childish to me. Anybody who knows me, and if you're watching this and you don't know me, I have a very dark, dry, kind of sarcastic sense of humor, and a spotted brown cow walking into a house is about as funny as a rubber fucking dick. And well, I guess those can be funny depending on what you're doing with it. But so that's again, it's just an example of how editors sometimes just don't get it. And that's fine. I don't hold any grudges. I don't get pissed off if it's not your thing. That's fine. I just look at it like I didn't want it in that magazine anyway. So that was it. That was, the poem, the critique, the absurdity of it. And like I said, this was going to be a real short one. I do, in the future, have ideas for several other shows. I also know I originally said in the first video it was just going to be gritty, me on my phone. I'm going to look into getting a video camera because if I want to do some videos or interviews or whatever with other people, it's kind of hard to get them in on a phone. So, some episodes for later. One, obviously, why I started poetry. Um, an episode on what they consider the greats, all these old dead poets. Um, I'm gonna probably put something together as a shout out to my Thursday night poetry group because there's a lot of great poets in there. A friend of mine suggested a poem a day, um, so I may play around with that and try to figure something out with that. I do really want to do an episode on. I'm going to ask random people why they dislike poetry. I've given a couple of my opinions on why I think they don't like it. I just want to get some actual people's opinions on that. And then another one is just going to be a short about mastheads. And mastheads for magazines is simply that blurb on the website that tells you who the editors are, what they're about, what they're looking for, and you would not believe some of the ridiculous mastheads there are out there. So this will be my last rant for a while. The truth of the matter is, journals rarely give you any kind of feedback. They typically, if you get rejected, it's just that sort of cold form rejection. Some of them will give you feedback if you pay for it. $10, we'll give you some feedback. For $15, we'll expedite that feedback. I'm not paying for feedback. I don't need it. I know where I'm at in the poetry world. So there you have it. This was a quick 8-minute video. So until next time, we'll see ya.